Homework 8 overview. So in this homework, you will add another class to this project. So your main goal for this is to add a game manager that'll keep the history of all games played. It'll count the wins, losses, and ties for X and O, and of course a different field, ties. Also, you will have to overload the isstream, cin, and ausstream, cout operators in the TicTacToe class, right? So remember, I went over that example for the bank account class. And then again, keep track. TicTacToe Manager keeps track of wins and losses. Okay, so this is how the UML looks for the TicTacToe Manager right here, and the TicTacToe class. Okay, so notice down here, you follow the instructions to determine what you need to do. So for the TicTacToe class, make sure that you add header guards. I've talked about those in class, and I've showed you what to do to add those. Make sure you add them for the TicTacToe class. Then you you have to create a friend function, right, that returns ausstream. So I didn't put friend here, but make sure you put friend, okay? And then over here, it will also be friend, right? So, and if you come up here and look, notice that right here, they are denoted as friend functions. So that's how you will make sure that they work. For the TicTacToe Manager class, you have to add a save game function, and this will have one parameter, TicTacToe, and it'll add the TicTacToe game into the vector, and after you add the game, then you have to call the update winner count function, so this function down here, and make sure you send in the winner. And the winner, you know, in the TicTacToe game, comes from get winner, okay? And ausstream, or also an overload, and again also a friend. So if we scroll up here, notice that it's a friend function also. You overload the cout, or the ausstream operator, loop through the vector of TicTacToe, and call the TicTacToe cout overload, right? Remember, by the time you do this, the TicTacToe cout overload should be written. Get winner totals uses references to get winners. So notice right here, they are references. Private, create a vector of TicTacToe. This is the list of TicTacToe games. Create an integer x underscore win, initialize to 0, integer o win, initialize to 0, and integer ties, initialize to 0. Okay. Finally, create a private void update winner count, accepts a string winner, and if winner increment x win, if x winner increment x, if o winner increment o, and else increment ties. Okay, so you add that logic. Which is x win? This class variable. O win, this class variable. Ties, this class variable. Okay. Also, update the test cases. For any of the test cases, add validation to make sure that X or O are the winners, okay? And then add one other test case to test the functionality of the TicTacToe Manager class, right? So for this one, you have to simulate playing 3 or more games, preferably where X, O, and C all win, and then use the get winner total function to validate the results for the TicTacToe Manager class, okay? And for this one, you have to understand how references work. So if you understand how references work, then you know that the test case will have 3 local variables, x win, o win, and ties, and then you send those into the get winner total function, and that will save its internal class values to the variables you passed in, and then you test those variables in the test case. Those variables meaning the local test case variables with the require statement, okay? Okay, so for main, remove code that captures keyboard data and replace that with the cin. So that code that you remove should have been in the cin, right, in the overloaded isStream operator. Also use the overloaded stream or the cout in TicTacToe to output to screen, okay? And then use TicTacToe Manager to track game history. So just make sure that your code creates the TicTacToe Manager before any of the loops. Otherwise, you're just going to be overwriting and creating a new TicTacToe Manager each time. So before any of the loops, and then create a game before the game loop, right? So there's a loop where the user wants to continue. In that loop, create a TicTacToe game. And then there's the loop that keeps track of the game, right, to determine if someone won. Don't create it in there because you'll be, again, overwriting the game. After somebody wins, then save the game into the TicTacToe Manager and then display the scores for the tallies, right? For example, how many wins, X, O, and ties, right? At the right before the end, right, when all your loops exit, I use TicTacToe Manager overloaded stream, meaning cout the variable for manager to display the history of the games, okay? And that's that should cover homework 8, and this one will give you good practice with working with two classes. And remember, UML helps us to determine how these classes are interacting with each other. So the only interaction right here is that manager is saving each game, and that way you have a history of all the games played while the program is running. Once the program exits and you load the program again, there's no history. But once we add the file output functionality, then it'll save a game history for all the games played, okay? So that's it for this one.